Here's another piece. This I found this was fascinating. This was actually several days ago. Margaret Elkis, writing for the economyincrisis.org. Economy in Crisis is a website that many years ago was a very, very conservative, almost libertarian website, and has become instead one of the best websites out there on the topic of so-called free trade. And they are not conservative or liberal. They are not Democratic or Republican. They are just free trade is stupid and it's killing us. And it's become a really healthy, really good website, economyincrisis.org. And they point out that in 2012, the FDA sent a team of inspectors to India to check out moon fishery. Why? Because tons of yellowfin tuna were coming into the United States from this one company. So they said, well, we should check it out. Here's what they found. And I quote from this article by Margaret Elkis at Economy in Crisis on July 30th, 2014. The headline is Tainted Yellowfin Tuna Imported from India Sent 400 People to Hospital. Here's what they found. The water tanks were covered in slime full of microbial contamination, microbiological contamination. The knives used to slice the fish were blanketed in rust. The ice machine to keep the fish fresh was full of insects and bird feces. And by the time the FDA issued an alert, it was already too late. According to the CDC, 424 people in 28 states, including babies, were sickened by fish from this one place in India. And then they point out that while most countries inspect most of the food coming in to their country, there was an actual number here. Here it is. 15% of all imports into Canada are inspected for food safety. So you can, they're going to catch stuff. In Europe, the European Union, they inspect half of everything coming into the country. You know what percentage of the food coming into the United States is inspected? 1 to 2%. Now, this article doesn't point it out, but I would point out that the FDA's budget has been consistently underfunded for decades because Republicans consider it big brother, big government intrusion in our, freedom. Our freedom to eat fish that are grown in ponds full of raw sewage and waste in Southeast Asia where they pour antibiotics into the pond or to eat fish that came from the Pacific off the coast of Fukushima and, or whatever, fruit coming from countries where they're using pesticides and herbicides that are illegal in the United States. Your freedom to eat those things and know those things. Well, libertarians would say you could just inspect your food. Right, yeah. Set up a $500,000, testing laboratory just outside your kitchen, right? What, on your back porch to test the food? So you can test for biologicals, you can test for, for bacteria and fungi and viruses, and you can test for heavy metal contamination, and you can test for, poisonous. I mean, this is crazy. The article notes, we currently import food from over 150 foreign countries, and the FDA needs serious help. By imposing tariffs, they're singing my song here. Let's go back to a tariff-based trade system. It was good enough for George Washington, and it ran right up through the Reagan administration. For 200 years, this country protected its manufacturing, and in this case, its food production, by having import tariffs, taxes on imports. By imposing tariffs, we could generate enough funds to hire more inspectors and properly improve our food safety program and decrease the number of food-related illnesses in our country. Thousands of people in the United States every year die from foodborne contamination. I think 1 in 6 Americans every year gets food poisoning. 1 in 6. That's crazy. I mean, it's not even anything close to that in Europe. So, America, increasingly the land of the libertarian free. Yeah, we are free to need to run to the bathroom. Sorry, I got food poisoning. Because I'm free to eat in that restaurant where I have no idea where the food came from. Or shop in that supermarket where it doesn't label whether it's got GMO or what kind of pesticide or even what country it came from. I don't know. I'm free. Yeah.